After winning all-around gold, Sunisa Lee didn't think she would ever get here American stars who will dominate the first week of the Olympics. What Joey Gallo brings to the Yankees-US Olympic sprinter Noah Lyles is at the top of his game. On and off the track, fellow Team USA athletes show support for gymnast Simone Biles and mental health struggles. Aaron Rodgers on relationship with Packers. Had to assess the situation. Our 13-year-old Olympic medal winners alone in Summer Games history. Talking how Aaron Rodgers' deal may have gone down. Simone Biles withdraws from team and all-around finals, but is still greatest of all time. What's next for Chris Paul? Breaking down possible off-season options. Simone Biles addresses media after withdrawing from women's gymnastics team final. Simone Biles out of team final. US softball wins silver. Swimming finals on Wednesday in the outskirts of Sydney, Australia. A young Boyd Martin would jump off of the school bus in the afternoon, run home, grab a saddle and throw it on his horse, Willie. Galloping around national parks and racing with his friends on the land, the pony clubs in Australia became one of Martin's favourite pastimes. Lodera, we had a very sporting upbringing in Sydney, Australia. Every sport you can possibly do, we got really involved with, Martin told USA Today Sports. My mother was a speed skater from Springfield, Illinois, and represented America at the 1968 Winter Grenoble, France, Olympics. She went to the Olympic Games and met a cross-country skier from Australia who is my father. He skied the 50K Nordic cross-country ski race. When I told my parents I wanted to pursue sports for a career, they said go for it. This is my third Olympic Games and I am actually looking forward that this will be the most different, unique championship event that we'll ever experience in our whole lives, said Martin. I think having no spectators and you're locked down, it's going to be so different than anything we've ever gone through before. I think we'll look back on it in years to come and look back at photos with masks on and competing with no one watching, and think, holy moly, that's a remarkable time in history. You can focus on the negatives, but for me, I am looking forward to a different experience. In Tokyo, Martin is joined by his wife Silva Martin, a Grand Prix dressage rider, sought-after trainer, and Martin's dressage coach. I married well, said Martin. She is a beautiful, beautiful lady and a great mother. Silva is originally from Germany and we met while we were living in Australia and decided to come to America and give this passion for horses a go. We somehow ended up in Cochranville, Pennsylvania, which is not far from Philadelphia. We put our heads down and worked and worked and worked. And we are very, very proud to have a wonderful training facility near Philadelphia, and it's a dream come true for us. During the coronavirus pandemic, training and riding did not stop for the Martins. We have been really, really lucky, said Martin. Horse sports is a little bit like golf where it is outdoors and in the fresh air. Everything else was shut down, but training the horse out in the barn was something that didn't get interrupted. It was actually quite nice every day waking up and training the horses. If anything, it was a little bit more focused. No outside people could come to the facility and I wasn't able to coach any of my outside students. If anything, it got more intense for us. I think I was a bit more dialed in and concentrated and focused. The extra time spent with his horses reminded Martin of why he fell in love with the sport in the first place. I definitely think that the pandemic, even though our business suffered a bit, I do think the horses have been doing better and I do believe I have had extra time to prepare for this Olympics Games. From the US, watching Martin compete are his two sons, Knox and Leo. I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. They're exhausting, said Martin. We are very lucky. We live on 100 acres and we need every inch of that property because these two boys are wild. But it has been a fascinating journey becoming a parent. When you are a professional sportsperson, you can be kind of self-centered and selfish about thinking about your own schedule, when you train, when you go to competitions at this time. But then all of a sudden having a couple of kids, and that is equally as important, blocking our time and trying to be a good father and have fun. I thought riding horses was a tough job, but looking after 2 kids is probably harder. At the moment, horses are all around them, Knox and Leo. Silva is a professional rider and I'm a professional rider and we live on a farm with 50 to 60 horses, and everything is about training and animals. So I think that they will either get really, really sick of it and want nothing to do with it, or they'll catch the bug like I did when I was 10 or 11 years old and fall in love with it. Either way, whatever they want to do, it is not about me, and if they wanted to go after something else, I'd be right behind them. As an eventing professional, Martin competes over 3 days. Dressage, cross-country, and stadium, which is show jumping. It's basically a triathlon, said Martin. So instead of swim, bike, and run, you've got dressage. That's the first day and it's very similar to a gymnastics floor routine. Every horse goes and performs a test in front of 3 judges, and each movement is judged on the precision, accuracy, and harmony of the horse and rider. The next day is an exciting day. That the cross-country thrills and spills over about 35 fences that are massive in height. It's about a 3 or 4 miles course. It is high speeds and very, very exciting. You have to ride your horse around this course under a specific time. The third and final day is the stadium, which is show jumping. On the first day the horse has to be elegant like a ballerina. The next day it has to be fierce like a gladiator, and on the third day, the horse has to be very careful and cautious around the show jumping stadiums. That is where there's a course and an area of about 14 or 15 show jumps. The winner is the person who does the best combined score over the 3 days. It's a great sport and the only Olympic sport where there is an athlete and an animal, and one where men and women compete together against each other. Martin finished with a 31.1 score Friday in eventing dressage and will compete in the cross-country event, which begins Saturday at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. If you pursue horse for a job, which to many people isn't a real job, and it doesn't work out, it would be a disaster. There was a little bit of risk going for it, but I wouldn't change anything or what we've accomplished.